Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee. Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Thank you for staying with us here on News Flash here on Prime Morning. And it's about time that we're going to the conversations that matters to you. It is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones, Papa Pafie. And that's where we want you to go. Anytime you think about gadgets, it has to be Franco Trading Enterprise. Quality is what we're assuring you. So please do come through and enjoy the products that we've got for you. Now, if you're looking to buy phones, we're looking at Samsung, Nokia, iPhones. You can find them when you get to Franco Trading Enterprise. The best of air conditions, you can find them over there as well. Now, your television, you want to change it. You want the biggest screen. You've been wanting this for the longest. You've gone around it everywhere in this country. You're not getting it. Franco Trading Enterprise is the place you can find it. Go there and grab yours. CCTV cameras that will help you monitor your homes and offices, and anytime you're not around, Franco Trading Enterprise got you. And we're also telling you not to actually call numbers on social media to do business with us as well. We value you, so pick the numbers on your screens and call anytime you want to make any inquiries and do business with Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise is also on Google Play Store. The app is over there. Just download the app and you're good to go. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can also check out our branches, the gadgets that we have, the amount of money you're paying for it, the quality that you're assured of. And that's what Franco Trading Enterprise is all about. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones, Papa Pafie. We're grateful to them this morning. We're going to be looking at the front page of the newspapers, and then we're getting to the major conversation today. We're looking at the 24-hour economy, which has been launched, and yesterday, His Excellency, the President, John Dramani Mahama, said a few things. We're looking at that also here as well in terms of seeing the reality of this policy. It was a flagship policy by the NDC, and it's been in the waiting for a while. Many people have been expecting the 24-hour economy policy kickoff, and well, they gave reasons why it had to delay a bit in terms of putting the policy together. And finally, the presidential advisor to the policy, Gusi Tano, actually made a presentation to the floor of Parliament. And yesterday, we had the official launch. Moving forward, where are we starting from? How much money are we supposed to be using for this policy? We're looking at over $4 billion. The president says the government is committing $300 million. US dollars, and the private sector will be looking at also contributing over $400 million US dollars. And well, certain people have raised some objections, and some people also think that it's feasible. We're going to be looking at all of that here on the show. So don't forget, you can share your thought with us and let us know what you think about this. All right. Great stuff. Now we'll move on, and I'm going to be looking at the front page of the newspapers real quick to check out what has been reported. And we're going to start off with the Chronicle newspaper. The Chronicle newspaper says that Mahama 24-hour economy path will be challenging, but he says the path will be challenging, but, and so there's a big bat over there. But Osahin rose to government over 360 million World Bank cash, 360 million US dollars World Bank cash. That's the man, Alexander Thuyomakin, captured on the front page, and he's Osahin because he's the minority leader in Parliament, and he's been captured over there this morning, so you can also read about that. On the back page, you've got some stories on sports, and you can find out what's happening with the world clap in terms of the claps. You can check out some Liverpool story as well. Rangers signed huge asset Rothwell from Bournemouth, and Leverkusen signed Kwanzaa from Liverpool for £35 million. That's also captured at the back page of the Chronicle this morning. You can read all about it. And away from that, the Overseer newspaper is here, and the front page says 24-hour economy. We have moved from slogan to action. President Mahama says so. Chief of Staff backs GNCCI Youth Drive. And Ghana's June inflation sharply declines to 13.7%, the lowest since 2021. And at that period, we were looking about 18.4%. Inflation, so it's dropped to 13.7%. You can read about it if you have a copy of the Overseer. Now, cite Naneje for contempt. He obtained a daughter's passport illegally. Baba Sam tells courts. That's also on the front page of the Overseer. And away from that, Asankregwa Gold Board Task Force arrests 10 Chinese, seizes 1.3 kg gold and 1.3 million Ghana cedis cash. That also captured by the Overseer this morning. 24-hour economy open to constructive criticism. Gusi Tano says so. And he's the presidential advisor to the policy. And yesterday, we've got a few of those who are in charge of it also speaking on the policy as well. We're moving forward this week. I'm sure most of those conversations will be coming up. And so, yeah, the New Republic is here this morning. It says Mahama walks the talk. 24-hour economy set to revolutionize Ghana. And it's got the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, captured on the front page. Now, I want him to fail, and that's ex-Subin MP goes very unpatriotic, wishes President Mahama bombs despite huge public support. That's also captured on the front page of the New Republic. AG moves to stop Arabes delay tactic. Group calls in Asante Hene's intervention. And EC eats humble pie. Sets July 11 to run 19 polling stations in Abelikuma North. And there's another issue with this. And we're going to have the red run. But the NPP says that this is not the way to go. The NDC believes that it is the way to go. So there's been that divided front when it comes to the EC's ruling on that issue of the elections. So on the 11th of July, we're going to have the rerun of those 19 polling stations. So initially, there were 3 of them, and they've moved to 19. The NPP does not understand why it has to move from 3 to 19. The NPP believes that they are scared of going into elections because of what has been happening the past few months based on what the president has been able to do with the economy. And so the NPP is scared of going into elections because they know that they will definitely lose. And that's what the NDC is saying. Yesterday, Mustafa Bande spoke about it. The Deputy General Secretary of the NDC spoke about it vehemently, and he believes that the NPP is behaving the way they are behaving with the ruling of the EC simply because they are actually scared of going into any elections because of what the administration of the NDC is doing with regards to the economy right now. Anyway, that's on the EC's ruling. Bronya weeps for public purse looters. Drags Yoko NIB AG to court over harsh bail conditions. That's also captured by the New Republic this morning. You can grab a copy when you want to read all of those stories. The last one for me will be the National Enquirer, and it says, ploy to taint Jampo flops, media assassins to face legal battle, and the 24-hour economy to create 1.7 million quality jobs in 4 years as government commits $400 million seed capital. And that's captured on the front page of the National Enquirer. And away from that, it says, we've moved from slogan to strategy, says the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And Gold Board cracks down on 10 Chinese smugglers. Yes, 10 Chinese smugglers have been cracked down by Gold Board. That's also captured by the National Enquirer. And away from that, 55% of Ghanaians support the 1 Ghana cedi fuel levy. Global Info Analytics reports on that. It says that 55% of Ghanaians actually say that, yes, they should bring that 1%, that 1 Ghana cedi fuel levy. All right. Blake Kumanoff, EC to rerun election in 19 polling stations on July 11. That's also captured on the front page of the National Enquirer. And this is a story making rounds on the newspapers that we have. So you can just grab a copy and then you read all about it. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get into the substantive issue this morning. But I chanced on this. Yeah, pretty much this morning. I chanced on this, and I want to just read it quickly. And it's an experience that Manasseh Azuri Awuni actually had in the north. And he says that Bahamas economy judged in Bulga markets. Now, on Monday, I went to the Bulga market. While I waited for some food items I had ordered from a nearby shop to arrive, the owner of the retail shop I was buying from and the man I had gone shopping with struck up a conversation about the prices of food items. And it says a 50-kilogram bag of the rice brand from Burkina Faso, which used to sell for 700 Ghana cedis, now goes for 480 Ghana cedis. A certain cooking oil brand is sold for 120 Ghana cedis. It used to be sold at 200 Ghana cedis, they said. A bag of maize is now sold at 500 Ghana cedis, down from 900 Ghana cedis. And so this in quote, he says, if this should continue until 2028, then we, the NPP, will not have a campaign message. Food is all that some people need. The man I had gone shopping with said. Amen. I said in my head, happy to have witnessed the tumbling of prices correspond with the falling inflation figures. And this is on the page of Manasseh Azuri Awuni. And I'm reading this because of the conversation that has come up several times about why inflation is doing, better, why the city is doing better, and yet the prices of goods actually still remain the same. So this is his experience somewhere in Bulga. So if these people are doing this, I'm making sure that the ordinary person out there gets to enjoy what the economy is doing. Why are we not seeing the same thing across the entire country? What's the problem with this? How can we deal with this situation once and for all? Just food for thought for you this morning as you go about your daily activities. But we're going to get into the major issue here on the show. And I've been joined in studio this morning. Lawyer Kwame Jantuah is here with me. He is a senior member of the CPP and is joining this morning as always. Lawyer Kwame Jantuah, I hope you're good this morning. Not bad. We've got life. I think that's what matters.
You're breathing.
Yeah, as you always say. Also joining us this morning is Honorable Matthew Enyindam. He's a former Majority Chief Whip and MP for Pandai. I love that name so much, Pandai. Yes. I love it so much. And I've promised that I want to visit there, but
yes, you are welcome.
We've not been able to, but we should.
There's time. There's still time.
Yes. I want to visit that place, but I hope you're good.
I'm fine. I'm okay.
Has Parliament proceedings and everything been constituency work?
We are on. Parliament is doing well. We are playing our oversight responsibility. We think as a responsible minority, we'll do our best to put the government in check and contribute meaningfully on the floor of Parliament. And so far we've been up, and we're sure that we will meet the demands of Ghanaians. The constituency is not bad, just that we are waiting for government to try as much as possible to pay its statutory payments so that we can also start giving our constituents some kind of a hope. And for now, they will just be talking, releases. But when you go to the ground, the releases are not there. The monies are not there, so we are waiting. But apart from that, we are good to go. Yeah.
I found out that I think in 2 weeks or so, or maybe sometime next week, there's going to be releasing of money. I don't know how true that is, but yesterday, that's what I heard.
And after that one, it's been,
I don't know whether you've heard that too.
It's been the national anthem. So we obviously, that has been said over and over when the finance minister came to the floor. And I'm sure, like you rightly also heard, some releases have been made too.
Yeah.
But the ground there, you see, it's not about the top, it's about the ground. Let the monies get to the ground. So that as MPs, what we are entitled to, we can also start deploying it so that the people will have some benefit. People are complaining, boreholes are broken down, We don't have this. We don't have this. Schools have been roofed off. These are some monies we hope that when we also lay hands on them, we'll apply them judiciously, and the people will benefit. Because over the 3-4 months, over 28 schools have been roofed off in my constituency.
Wow, 28.
28 schools. And most of these schools, the children don't even have a place. Wow. Because it's just about 3 classroom blocks that they have. Kachinki, for instance, is completely off. Tinglinto is off. There are so many of those places that are off. So the only source of income for an MP is this small kind of common fund that you also have to apply. And then 6 sponsorship. But now, it's not easy to get sponsorship from anywhere. Yeah. So we are just hoping that very soon. The first quarter is completely gone. The second quarter has come, almost gone. And we expect that something meaningful should happen. But apart from that, like I said, my constituents they are okay.
Great.
It's just that the normal road matter, water, bread and butter issue, unemployment, that cuts across everywhere.
24-hour economic policy is coming. Honorable. The president in his speech said that he's going to provide a lot of jobs. I mean, we're looking at over 1.7 million quality jobs, and keyword operation word over here is quality.
Before he goes on the task, what does honorable mean by small?
Small.
The small as in referring to
the small monies that we
the command.
Number 2, is it anything new?
That the monies have
In
delayed.
terms of delay, is there anything new?
No.
So what should happen is that this thing has happened over and over again. You need to find a way of what? Reducing it. First quarter has come, second quarter is coming, money still haven't come. Comes third quarter, what can you do? There has to be a conscious effort of trying to do what? Reduce time. But let me ask, isn't the Minister of Finance a parliamentarian? Does he not come to Parliament? Do parliamentarians not talk to him? What Honourable is saying, is he saying that he would not have the opportunity to approach the Finance Minister to ask him some of these things because of the pressure from his constituents?
Maybe they have, and
He didn't say it in his commentary. That, I had the opportunity to speak to the Minister of Finance. These are the reasons why there is a delay. Everybody understands. But as a parliamentarian, you are in Parliament. If you talk the way I'm not in Parliament talks, what hope do we have? But we need to be very strategic in how we explain some of these things to the general public. Otherwise, what does it do? It puts the government in a bad light. Because the government would have promised, we're going to release X amount to the district, to this. It hasn't come. Parliamentarian, you say the same thing. Where then does the executive stand? It's the same party. So for me, in explaining, you also have the responsibility as the parliamentarian to make sure that certain things do not create a certain perception in the districts. And it's just a question of clarification, because you are an arm of government, you are part of the government, and that part of the government gives you the opportunity to be able to ask questions which you can now come and explain to the people. And that is how you bring the people along some of these things.
Anyway, my uncle has spoken, but I think that just like you rightly said, when you talk about Parliament, Parliament is for the people. And whatever is happening in Parliament is out there. The media in Ghana is so pronounced and very visible. You air every little, even your bedroom, if you're not lucky, the media will air whatever is going on there. So it's not news. Just like my uncle said, he knows everything that happens in Parliament. This issue, like you rightly said.
I'm not in Parliament.
No, Parliament is a public place.
I don't know.
Good to these days, every little hearing in Parliament is public.
Well,
This
saying?
kind of hearing in terms of where you can have a tete-a-tete with the finance.
No, this one, there is no tete-a-tete in this matter. We are talking about all the 276 MPs allocations. So, minister comes to the floor and tells you that, look, releases have been done. You follow up, he said, your releases have been done. What kind of tete-a-tete do you want to have with him? It's not about you. It's not a problem to you only. It's for the 276 MPs and then the 261 district assemblies that are supposed to receive the funds. When budget was read, it was inside. Like I said, he's come to the floor to make sure that some releases have been done. He said it openly.
Yeah.
But when you get to the district assembly, those monies haven't hit the accounts. If you take the health insurance, you take the NHI and all those, there are certain funds that are gets to the MPs. Those ones have not been done. So there's no any tete-a-tete in this matter.
I understand that.
So what tete-a-tete do you want me to have?
That.
These are issues that are out there. And we must talk about it. That is it. So for the tete-a-tete thing, if I have my personal problem, obviously, I can talk to the minister. He comes to the first
personal.
Oh,
it's not personal.
I don't know how you want it to be done. Just like I said, I don't know how you want it to be done. Maybe your understanding or where you are coming from is different from where I am coming from. This concerns all of us. Okay, so there cannot be tete-a-tete in this matter. He cannot pay me. He cannot pay Pandai different, and then not pay Williamson or pay my uncle's constituency. No, it's done everywhere.
Who is more closer to the Minister of Finance, you or me? Who is more?
You are. Well, he's making reference.
No, it doesn't matter. Maybe for your connections. Maybe your connections to the minister is more closer.
No.
Than myself.
In Parliament, he's a parliamentarian.
Yes.
Let's say he comes to Parliament. He's sitting next to you, and you tell him, you've told us that the releases have been made. First quarter has come. Second quarter has come. Mr. Minister.
It is your responsibility also. It's not about me. We all have to talk about it.
No. You are in charge of your constituents.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Your constituents voted you in.
Exactly.
And so you have a responsibility to be able to question the finance minister. Why aren't the releases in? It's second quarter. I don't have that opportunity. And because you have that opportunity, I'm praying that you use that opportunity, that personal
It has been used.
to be able to let the people know
it has been
why
used.
there's
It has
a delay.
been used.
But you didn't say.
No, it has been used. For that it has been used. I just want you to know that it has been used.
Okay, let's move on.
It has been used.
So that's on some issues on Parliament this morning. And I mean, we're all hoping and praying that those monies are paid so that the MPs can also go about and ensure that people get what they deserve. And we'll be looking at that. I think it's one of the conversations we'll bring it up again. I heard it somewhere that some monies will be paid sometime next week, and that's why I brought it up. But yes, yesterday we had the launch for the 24-hour economy, and now according to the president, he actually stated a few things, and he said that this is a national reset, and that's how he described it. And he said a bold strategy to revive Ghana's economy through round-the-clock productivity and expanded export capacity. Now, he mentioned some 8 pillars that will be, this whole policy will be hinged on. And they said that grow 24, make 24, build 24, show 24, connect 24, fund 24, aspire 24, and go 24. These are the 8 pillars that the entire project will be hinged on. And so we'll be looking at it. But let me start off by getting your general overview of the outlook of the entire policy. Do you now think that this is what you expected that the president will be detailing, or the NDC will be detailing in terms of the policy?
Well, let me say good morning to the good people of Kwanda. You know, we moved in to speak. We really haven't said good morning to them. And good morning to your cherished viewers, and then to everybody out there. My general impression about the 24-hour economy. Well, I'm not enthused for now. Although my wish is that this program becomes a success. We are all Ghanaians, so sometimes we all have to wish this country well. But that notwithstanding, we will also contribute and look at it from whatever angle we want to look at it from.
Yeah.
This is a program that Ghanaians really bought in and voted for the president. It's a program that we've been promised to solve our bread and butter problems. It's a program that we've been promised to solve almost all the unemployment situations that we're facing in this country. Because they promised 3 shifts. That's, 1 job, 3 people. Okay? But listening to the 24-hour economy thing, we have our view as an MPP that when you talk about 24-hour economy, is something that is purely driven by demand and supply. If you really do a basic economics, you know that for you to be selling all out, the demand must be there. Mm-hmm. And when the demand is there, obviously supply will be forced, or producers will be forced to produce. So you'll be selling. You go to OA Transport, it's doing 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Just new plan here. Because the market is there. So passengers are ready to travel any point in time. So you don't need to forcefully put a policy there. Automatically, it triggers and it goes on. But listening to them, according to Guzi, for this program to become a very successful program, they would demand, or they were looking at about $4 billion. Okay, within 5 years, they are looking at $4 billion. And then he is quick to say, for now, the seed money given to them is about 300 million, which is not even up to 10%. Yeah. I get what I'm saying. It's not even up to 10%. Maybe when you do the computation, it's about 7% or maybe 6 or something. Okay, that's the money that has been given as seed money. I also heard the president and other people talk about it's going to be private sector led. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've heard that it's going to be private sector led. Good, I agree. There is no way government can do everything. Okay, government can do everything. So if we are able to create enabling environment, if we are able to create space and proper policies to aid private sector, obviously private sector will grow. And like you said, and I listened, this is a huge policy for the NDs. Yeah. Huge. Yeah. And they went out there, promised the young men that, look, please, we are coming to provide jobs. And within a space of time, your seed money is about 300 million out of 4 billion. I don't see any commitment to that. And now they are quick to say that, look, it's going to be private sector led. So in the event that you don't get the private sector, what happens? In the event that your policies, the private sector is not buying into it, what happens?
Is that how it's looking? You think
No, he said it's going to be. I'm not saying that, I'm just asking the question.
I know, but I'm also finding out if the private sector does not see this attractive enough.
You see,
from where you said.
What the president said yesterday is not news to me.
It's not attractive for the private sector.
It is not news. This
they want to commit over 400 million.
It's been said over and over and over and over and over. Go and take all our presidents, the previous presidents, and everything they speech. Look, every basic economic will tell you that, look, we must create an enabling environment for the private sector to grow. We keep saying it. One district, one factory. Technically, it was supposed to be private sector led. You need to create an enabling environment. And what do you mean by creating an enabling environment? That is where the problem is. Yesterday, I listened to some senior members who also ran commentary.
It comes with tax reliefs and all that, which has been promised.
All those things are there. Look, we are talking about an economy which is agric-led. For you to be able to do something huge in this country, agric sector must see a boost, big boost. Okay? How well have we, as a nation, for the past 10, 20 years, what have been our irrigation policy? What has been our irrigation policy? Because you cannot be talking about a huge growth in agric sector depending on the rains. No, it's not going to help you.
That's what they intend to do with the Volta Basin.
That's why I'm saying that, look.
You think that it's the time of starting this that is going to make it difficult?
It is not. It's about how committed the government is.
In terms of funding.
And what are the environment? What does the environment dictate to us? What has been our growth pattern in terms of irrigation for the past 10, 20 years? And what do we think that within the first 4 years, we are able to do a magic with 300 million when we are talking about $4 billion? Do you really see that there is serious commitment into this? I don't see that. I really don't see that. I'm not praying that it shouldn't succeed. I am not praying. But I think that I think that we should be more committed to policies that we actually champion and campaign on. It's not about coming to launch it, use all the words that, oh, look, we shouldn't be importing this, we shouldn't be importing. We all fully know that, look, we shouldn't be importing certain basic things. We know. And talking about imports, and you say, look, we are going to tax some importations here and there. Look, you can tax a product, but when the product gets to this country, it will still be cheaper than what you produce in this country. For instance, if you are talking about poultry, okay, how much is a live fowl in Ghana here? Maybe it's about 200 cedis, about 100 Ghana cedis. Somebody can import in chicken and still sell the same thing about 50 cedis or 80 cedis. So a wise consumer would prefer to buy the frozen chicken because that is what he can afford. He cannot afford to buy the live chicken, although maybe we produce it in this country. So it's a huge thing, okay? Like I said, I don't see serious commitment in this. I think that if a project is, you are looking for $4 billion, and the only commitment the government that championed this 24-hour economy can do is $300 million. I don't really see much about it.
We'll come back and look at the 8 sub-programs. That's the pillars that they speak about in detail. But let me get opinions, remarks on that as well. The policy looks good. All we wanted to know is the details of it, you know, how we're going to execute it and all that. They've provided some clarity on that. Does it look good for you?
AMJ, when did the MPP come out of power?
It's not about MPP. It's about NDC. We are talking about NDC. It's not about MPP. So don't always bring MPP. We are out of power.
When I was talking,
when you
were talking, I was quiet.
I didn't bring you. That's why you were quiet.
CPP hasn't been in power for the last 30 years. We are talking about today. Maybe it's sensitive to the MPP. When did they leave power?
2024.
How many months is it?
It's been 6 months.
I find it rich when I hear comments like that from the MPP. When I hear comments, oh, we need irrigation, I find it rich.
They didn't do it.
What did you do? If you had started it, you had started irrigation on a huge level, would we not be somewhere? Would we not be somewhere? You just don't criticize and criticize for criticizing's sake. Stand on what you did and use it to argue. You didn't do it. One district, one factory. When you started, you made it look as if it was good, and everybody bought into it. Where did it end up?
Awal said they have about 100.
Where did it end up? Honorable is saying, yeah, we know imports. You knew it. You knew the poultry industry. What did you do? I find it rich when they talk like that. We need to build this nation. We need to build this nation. For me, 24-hour economy should have been linked into a national development plan. Should have been linked into a national development plan. We need a national development plan, period. And we need to be able to sell that national development plan, and everybody should link into it. Because you don't want a situation where one district, one factory, where is it today? Is that right that we've cut the roots of it? No, it's not. It's not. Because Honorable rightly said, and when you read some of the things President Mahama recreated, between 2016, and I quote, 2016 and 2020, it became increasingly clear that Ghana, and I wouldn't say 2016, 2020, I'll go by what he said, through this fourth republic, like many African countries, is trapped in a model of unequal exchange. We export raw materials and we import refined finished products. We ship cocoa, gold, timber, and oil abroad only to purchase them as chocolate, jewelry, furniture, and fuel at a far greater cost. That was the thinking of one district, one factory. How far did it go? How far did it go? And so for this, we've got to be able to make sure that it works. Number one, we've got to make sure that we learn from the challenges of the one district, one factory, where down the line, the president has said it's private sector led. Down the line, we now see government having to pump money in it. That shouldn't happen. We should be able to explain ditto how this is going to affect our GDP. What kind of employments are we going to see happen within the first 2 years? These pillars they put up, are they realistic pillars? Have you been able to do what? Go to the private sector, identify which parts of the private sector would be able to invest in this. That work needs to be done. And if it's done, unfortunately, I didn't have the time to listen. But the little I've heard over the news, if you say it's private sector led, you need to be able to know which parts of the private sector would be able to invest in it. The quantum of money you talk about for the duration is huge. Where do we get that money from, even if it's the private sector? What are the limits with the 24-hour economy? How have you structured it with regards to the time limits? It can't be open for all. In the different sectors of the private sector, you have small scale, you have mid scale, you have upper. How is that going to work in there? Infrastructure. We need good lighting systems. We need good roads. We need good security. We need good transportation. Which parts of the 24-hour economy do we know we can start with and can lead into other things? Mine is that it is new. It is something that the government is what? Putting forward. Let's hope that things will meander into each other as we start the implementation of it. I'm on the AGI. The AGI is fully behind trying to make this thing work. And for me, that is the important thing. How do we make it work together? Because why? We are building a nation. Look, we have all the natural resources in this country. All the natural resources in this country. We don't need to go anywhere for those natural for money anywhere. Look, when the and it was a funny thing. When the American soldiers were coming in, and they reached the Greenwich Meridian, where the equator crosses the
the center being the center of.
They were happy. They were happy. Why? Because they had reached the center of the earth. And with the natural resources that we have, those that we haven't even been able to do what? To exploit. We need to be able, and it takes everybody. It takes everybody to be able to direct this particular development for our country.
Is Honorable not making a genuine case of how much you want to put into this? You say that this is your flagship policy. If you're supposed to put a seed money into it and you're looking at $4 billion, why would you be thinking about 300 million when you know it does not even begin to solve the problem?
That is why they should be able to explain to us why you rather start with this low amount of money. Clarity is everything. That responsibility is on government. You say, we are using 300 because of A, B, C, D, E, so that people can buy
huge money.
Huge money.
And you're looking at 300 million.
Huge money.
That's like, you're not ready to
huge money. But then it is up to Parliament to talk on behalf of the people, to ask government, please clarify why this is the budget for it. And in working the budget, it's up to even those in Parliament to be able to work the nitty-gritties of the 400 billion? Of
the government seed.
Yes.
That's 300 million.
No.
That one is 400 million.
400 million, work it out one by one as to whether that 400 million is even enough. Whether that 400 million is overflated. Work it, ditto, bring it back to the people. I'm one for inclusivity of people in governance. I think Parliament has a huge role. The committees have a huge role. to break it down and let the people understand. But yes, government has to be able to explain why you're putting this kind of seed money. And I thought what I heard was that they put this seed money, but the private sector would also bring their... So what part of the private sector? Where's the money going to come from? When you say private sector,
because there
where's the private sector?
Various sectors that you're looking at.
This is the point I'm making. This is the point I'm making. You need to be able to break that down for people to be able to understand. It's going to come from telecoms. It's going to come from manufacturing. It's going to come from X. It's going to come from Y. The hope is that it will engineer certain areas of the economy to start working. For instance, the poultry industry. For instance, the import of rice, the rice industry. For instance, the import of some essential products that we can do in this country. For me, that should be the starting point. And then it needs to link into those things that we export. Look, let me tell you something. Cocoa husk and the cocoa pod itself can absorb a lot of chemicals in the soil, especially to do with how galamsey is treating our soils. Some of these things we should investigate and use to help to get the economy going, because at the present moment, let's hope it doesn't happen in terms of how our soils have been inundated with chemicals. We need to be able to retrieve that. That all falls into 24-hour economy. If you have a 24-hour economy and the food you're eating is contaminated, how does 24-hour economy work? So there are certain basic things that we need to be able to do for this platform to be able to move. And those things we need to do, we need to be able to talk about it and clarify it for the people of Ghana to understand.
Very well.
We need to do this together, not government or yes or ha. We need to do it together. If we do it together and it gets to a point and we are criticizing, we can say we contributed. This is what we did. Unfortunately, what we did, because they didn't do X, Y, Z, it couldn't work. So that people see your contribution. Simple.
Very well. And if you just join us here on the show, this segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, Phone's Papa Path here. It's Newsflash. We're looking at the 24-hour economy plans, which was launched yesterday by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It was a flagship policy by the NDC. And they've been able to actually go on with it. Now, Labour consultant Austin Gary actually spoke about that. He described this as something that he thinks that is a masterpiece, and he wants Ghanaians to be part of it, participate in his own words. He encouraged Ghanaians to accept it and participate in it. In fact, there's the other aspect about labor law and all that, which we'll be looking at in terms of how we're able to project this into the next 10 years or even 50 years. Now, according to him, he says that the labor law 2003 actually gives room for this to be able to be operational. You know, the question is that fact that we get to a point where we feel like we'll not be able to achieve this because the Constitution does not make provision for us to drive this. And he says that the Constitution, even in the 22nd century, has given us an operational way of dealing with this 24-hour economy. So if indeed we want to do it, we'll be able to push it without having any constraints and when it comes to the Constitution. But do you believe in it? You think that it's something that in the next 10, 50 years, we'll still be able to project it and say, it is ours?
Anyway. It's interesting. I haven't seen anybody in this country saying that we are not interested in the 24-hour economy. The people in this country voted massively for the NDC. Clearly tells you they believed in whatever
policy they had.
And I'm surprised my uncle is talking about criticism. We shouldn't criticize. We shouldn't talk about it. When did we leave government? If you put the governance system in this country, the NDC government has governed this country more than any other government. Put PNDC and NDC together. They've governed this country more than any other government. But they still have the opportunity to criticize. You never told them to stop criticizing. You didn't do that. You joined those who were criticizing.
One district, one factory.
I thought you had the patience to
one factory. When they started,
I thought you had the patience
we all went for it.
You told me to be patient.
I'm sorry.
Yes, so I thought you had the patience.
I'm sorry.
So some of these things you just say that we shouldn't criticize. It makes me it makes me not comfortable with it.
Is it not because the NPP has taken
No, it is not
position?
We haven't taken. It is not true. How can we take an entrenched?
The perception out there is that because we are.
How can we take an entrenched position?
The people did not vote us in.
So
anything the government decides to do, let us push the government.
How?
And push it.
How? We are in opposition. Okay, it is our responsibility to look at where there are lapses and comment on them. The fact I'm commenting on the lapses of a program doesn't mean that I'm not for it. In any case, they have 4 years mandate. It is up to them to prove to us, whether we criticize or we don't criticize, it's up to them to prove to us that, look, they are capable and they are bringing the policy they promise the people of this country. It is up to them to do that. Whatever support we have as a minority or as a responsible government in waiting, we will offer. And that, nobody can take away from that. Nobody can take away that from us. We will do it. You've asked him a question where he's talking about $3 billion and you are starting with a seed money of 300 million. And you think that we should not talk about it? Why should I not comment about it? Which, if it is, you have a budget of about 4 billion, and your initial seed money is less than 10%. It
means you're not ready.
Does it show any readiness? If he was sitting here, he would say the same thing. My uncle would have said the same thing. So nobody is against the 24-hour economy. They've been voted to make it alive. That's what we are calling for. But I ask certain questions, just like he talked about the one district, one factory. Now what has happened? We have factories in this country, at least that are producing. How well have we assisted them to be able to run the 24-hour economy? What is even 24-hour? Producing day and night. Is that not what we call 24-hour economy? Production must take place during the day and take place during the night, so that they can be shifted in the process. That's all we are all talking about. So if they do that, who wouldn't be happy? But what are the factors? What are the factors today that you confidently think that within the 4 years, such a program can become a successful one? Why you say it is going to be private sector led? When they were campaigning, did you hear that it was going to be private sector led? Did you hear that? My uncle is here.
But you also agree that policies go through.
I don't. That's why. You see, if you listen to my initial comments, I have admitted that there is no way government can do everything. It's not possible. Government can't do everything. So it is possible. Private sector must set in. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, but you must show commitment to a policy that you totally championed and made people believe that, look, it is government. When I come, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring 24 hours economy. I'm going to make sure that all the young men that do not have jobs, you're going to get jobs. Okay? Only to come and launching the program, you are saying that you are starting with 300 million Ghana cedis as seed money, where a total of about 4 billion is what you are looking for to make this program a successful one. I don't have any problem with 24-hour economy. No MPP person has any problem with 24 hours. But we think that
commitment that you have.
We think that it might not see the day of light.
But looking at where we, not to catch you, but looking at where we find ourselves as a nation and what our economy has done to us over the period. You think that there's enough money the government can commit to this, and they are deciding that they want to commit?
Well, it is up to them.
Because there's no money.
Who told you there's no money? In this country, who told you there's no money? There's money. Who told you there's no money?
There's money.
There's money. Yes, there's money.
So the government has been deliberate about it.
That one, it is up to them. It's not up to me to decide. I'm not in government. Okay, I'm a Ghanaian. Fully think that I should even be more patriotic to support the cause of whatever is going on. I get what I'm saying. But like I said, you cannot close me from criticizing when I see the lapses. Now, we are talking about the agri sector. That's where I was actually talking, and my uncle talked about how many irrigation.
The irrigation, You had 8 years to actually make a difference.
We had 8 years to actually make a difference. We've done what we can do. Unfortunately,
was it sufficient enough?
That's why maybe that's why they've not renewed our mandate. Because it was that's why our mandate was not renewed. Okay? So the fact that somebody has brought a superior argument and that the people bought into it, it is my responsibility to also hold him in check. You cannot say because I didn't do this, I should not hold that person in check. So like I was talking about Greek sector now, what are the plans for now for us to move away from the rain-fed agric to what is that, an irrigation-fed agric. Yeah. What are the steps?
So provided an all year.
What are the steps? So that we know that we are going to produce all year round. Do you see that? So now we are saying it's going to be private sector led. That's what we've been told. We are talking about importation. Like I said, look, for you to be able to enjoy a low pricing, okay? For instance, if you are producing this particular water, you must produce it in greater quantity to be able to enjoy economy of scale. Such that the more you are producing, the lesser the commodity prices is going to be. For instance, you produce just one, the price will be high. If you produce 1,000, the prices will keep falling.
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of the day, you are going to enjoy an economy of scale. Today, as we speak, what factories in Ghana do we have? To the extent that they are able to produce in larger quantity to feed the demands that people are looking for. Which factories are there? We don't have them. So are we ready to look at some of this one that we even started? Like he's talking about one district, one factory. At least there are some factories that we came and we've been able to support for them to reach a certain level. But what has been the attitude of this government? One district, one factory policy is cancelled, totally cancelled. That's what.
Is that what it is?
Yes, that's what. Yes, that's what. No, that's not what.
Is it not going to fit?
It is announced. No, it is announced. It was announced in their budget that policy is completely off their table. There's nothing like one district, one factory, anything. Okay. So if governance is supposed to be continuous, why don't you pick the positives? If there were some positives, why don't you pick them? And also think that you just rubbish it, think it's not important, you want to do your own thing. I don't have a problem. As for the Austin Garment and all what they have said, look, we are Ghanaians. If you take the 1992 Constitution and you go and look at the direct principles of state policies, it's not different from what we are discussing this today. It's not different. It's constitutional.
Yeah.
Everything in that will tell you how, as a nation, we are supposed to guide our way through.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it is about the commitment. It's about the politics. So I am not against 24-hour economy, but I think that the way it was harped, the way governments preached the 24-hour economy, the promises they told the young men out there that, look, you are going to get 3-shift job. Okay, I saw some of the things that they said and all those things. I don't see that coming. That's what, you can't force me to see it because I don't see it. I don't see the policies so sharp that within the shortest possible time we'll be able to address and get factories and other things that are going to operate 24-hour and then jobs will be available for these young men that we've promised. Like I said, it's 4-year mandate that they have. Whether I accept or I don't accept, it is about them.
The 4 years, you think it's enough? The 4 years is enough for them to achieve?
Oh, every manifesto lifespan is 4 years. Okay?
Is it enough to achieve this huge policy?
Well, this promise, I don't know. They think it is doable. So whether...
But you think it's not?
The 4 years?
Yeah, you think it's not enough?
No.
It's not enough.
I'm not saying it's not enough. I'm just saying that I'm not seeing the steps they are taking. I don't see it maturing. The 24-hour economy, I don't see it maturing. That's what I'm saying. But they have a 4-year mandate. Okay? It is up to them to sit up and look at the lapses. Okay? And try to fulfill the promise they made to the young men and women out there that they are going to provide them jobs. And that job is going to be a 3-shift job. It is up to them to prove that. But I think that if you have a 4 billion commitment, and you just make a seed money of 300 million, which is less than 10% of your commitment, I think that...
you're not going anywhere with
I don't see it.
Okay. We'll be doing some of your messages very soon, so keep them coming. And also on Facebook, I'll come back to you right now. Also on Facebook, you can send your messages over there. WhatsApp line is active. You can send your messages over there as well. In a couple of minutes, I'll be doing those messages over there. Let Lawyer Kwame Jantuah go on, and then maybe after that, we've tried to look at the Grow 24, which is under agriculture. We've also tried to look at the funding, which is the Fund 24. The other aspect of it that I want us to look at, I'll be asking you a few questions if we can see the Aspire and the Grow 24 and all that. But before that, you can go ahead and then...
ShaMJ, what's the vision for Ghana?
Ghana.
Yes.
The vision for Ghana.
Do we have a vision?
I've not heard of it.
Do we have a vision?
I've not heard about any vision that we have that. It's a national agenda for all of us.
Does China have a vision?
Okay. Yeah.
They have 100-year vision for their country. And they are,
which fits into
they are
everything
following
want
it
to do.
ditto. Does South Korea have a vision? Yes. Following it ditto. Does India have a vision? 100-year vision, following it ditto. Where is our vision?
To start with.
Where is our vision? Especially when we have spiral politics. They brought in one district, one factory, brought in this. They are gone. Another party has come on. The rules are cut. This has brought in 24-hour economy. They'll do. If they don't win the next election, another government comes in, cut. Where's the vision? For me, that is where it starts from. We need a vision where everybody knows what the vision is. Even a class 1 child knows where the country is heading. Look, in the Christian realm, the Bible says, when God wants to do anything, he looks at the end before coming. Have we looked at the end? Have we asked ourselves, where do we want to be in the next 20, 25 years?
I'm not
What will it take for us to get there? Work your way backwards and see those things that would allow you to get there and plug everybody in. Because unfortunately, the kind of politics that we play in this country stops us from thinking. With all the natural resources we have, especially gold, the entire country is covered in gold. Entire country. Should we be poor? No, we shouldn't be poor. We should have had a vision for gold. How are we doing it? What's the best way to do it? And not sit for other countries to benefit from us. And that is one of the major challenges we have in Ghana. Go to South Africa. See what the gold has done for South Africa. Are you telling me that it can't happen for us? Look at our bauxite. Look at our manganese. Look at our lithium. Look at our oil. Look at our rich soils with the kind of agriculture we can have. And I say, we need a region or an area where we mark it as an agricultural zone and have a plan for that area. And for me, the North. The North. I mean, if we have a plan for the North, where we develop the North to some extent, won't people want to go there? It happened in Nigeria. When they moved the capital from Lagos to Abuja, what was Abuja? It was nothing. But today, go and see. So we need to be mindful of the areas of the country that can catapult it forward. What is the gold in the North? The gold in the North is water. The gold in the North is water. Availability of water changes a lot of things in the North. What are we doing? The Bagri Dam is always spilled. When it rains, flooding in the North, what are we doing? And so, yes, you might have a 24-hour economy, but what is it linking into to make sure that the country moves with it? If the MPP, when they came, we had a national development plan and they linked some of the things into that national development plan, would we not be mandated to follow it? And if party politics came in and tried to do things to catapult it up, won't it be the people who will say, guys, stop it. We have a plan that we are all following. We have a vision we are following for this country. But this up and down thing we do, MPP, NDC, so they bring it in, does it help us? I would advise Comrade Mahama that now you have put this in place, go to NDPC and get NDPC to implement it in the National Development Plan. Because really and truly, you have 4 years. It's going to take quite some time to what? Implement this effectively. If you don't come back the next 4 years. And anyway, if you come back the next 4 years, it's not President Mahama who's going to be there. There's going to be someone else, a new person. And if that new person has his own ideas, what happens? So it needs to be instituted. And I agree with Honorable when he talks about what were the positive things of some of the things the MPP did in terms of the different sectors? What were some? It couldn't have been all bad, could it? No. There could have been some good things in there. And for me, the one thing that brings money, and brings money quickly, that unfortunately the MPP weren't able to continue, is oil. It's oil. When you see how oil money comes in, it comes in like a tsunami. Oil money, when it comes in, it comes like a tsunami. And we should have used part of that oil money to get Paul back on his feet. So that with some of our oil, a certain percentage of GNPC's stake could have gone there. We refine, we export, we get foreign exchange in, and we start building from there.
Go and see Toll, the road.
Exactly.
The road to Toll.
So for me, it's planning. And planning effectively. Read Lee Kuan Yew's book. Read Lee Kuan Yew's book. What does Singapore have? What natural resource does Singapore have? And they were able to convert their country into a central place, a port. Go to Takoradi Port today. What is happening in Takoradi Port? We have 2 ports. Landlocked countries, do they have ports? They use our ports. What are we doing with ours? All this is part and parcel of what we're talking about. But you need a plan. And that plan has to be put in place. Fix all these things in there. Let's move together and develop this country. Because, look, we can't go to any other country and call it ours. And if ours isn't developed, the kind of talent that we have is used by another country.
The ones around you are even fighting.
Exactly. It doesn't help us. Look, when you started Joy Prime, was this the studio you were in?
No.
What did you do? We've revamped it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure. How long has this studio been in place?
Over 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
I'm sure in the next 10 years, this studio will change. What does that mean? Technology is coming in. Yeah. And nowadays, you even have cameras that don't need cameramen. You are building it. That is what we need for this country, to build it and bring everybody on board. One of the richest people in Ghana today are market women. Market women, the market queens. They determine prices of things. How are we using them? Have we drawn them into the mix?
The finance minister went to see them before coming.
It isn't a question of just going to see them. How have you drawn them into the mix? Because they hold substantial amounts of money. Substantial amounts of money. So for me, yes, it is good, but what is the plan? What is the vision? I want to see the vision going forward, so that very soon I'll be 80 years. I'll be left in my, I hope to be able to work till I die, if I can. But I want to be able to sit down and say to myself, my father didn't have the opportunity to say that, because he knew the kind of fight they fought to get this country on a sound footing. When he was in his late 90s, he said, Kwame, when I go, what am I going to tell those we fought with? So it's a vision. It's a vision and a planned vision to move forward. All this America, you think they don't have a vision? You think they don't have a Britain? You think they don't have a vision? Why do you think Britain decided to go back into oil production? Why do you think America is talking about oil production? Why do you think Russia, even in the state they are, they're exporting oil? Because it brings in cash. Have we done exploration to production in 8 years? Our oil fields, are they not dipping? When you look at a certain part of the offshore oil field, we are only in the western region. The rest are all empty. And it can make money for us. We have gas deposits that are stranded. We are fighting for power when we have gas. Come on. Come on.
And speaking about the North, so last weekend, I was supposed to have traveled with Kujako Tubuatin to the North, but I couldn't make it. And he went and he came back and was giving a report of what he saw in the North. And was like, can you see, if we give the North just a little support, the North alone can feed the entire nation and export millions of foods. And I'm like, the governments, our leaders, they don't know this. I said, well, it's not as if they don't know. Because most of them travel to the north all the time and they know what the capacity the north has in terms of providing us with food. But
Why should there still be mud houses in the north? I never understand it.
Why
Should there still be mud houses in the north? Today, 2025. People still live in mud houses. You're trying to tell me we cannot improve it?
People go there all the time. People go there.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Take your cameras to Nima if you won't find out mud houses.
What is this?
I don't understand it.
My uncle says very soon he'll be 80. It means he's been fighting this and championing this, and he's now almost
for all
80.
these years.
You see, this is what
I said when I'm 80. Please. Don't spoil. I know. I said when I'm 80.
No, you said very soon.
I said when. Okay, don't spoil my market. Don't spoil my market. Don't spoil my market.
He's there yet.
Exactly. I'm not there yet.
Yes.
Please, may I brand here?
Anyway, you finish your message.
Let me get some messages and then I'll come back. The market is still there, don't worry. Let's do some few messages. This one over here says that, good morning, KMJ. KMJ, the launch is a good one, but its practicality and operationality are what matters. Under this government so far, can we count on the number of programs that have been launched and what has been any little impact gained from those programs launched? The government currently seems to be a president of the launching and inauguration of committees here and there. I wish the government success in the 24-hour economy program that has just been launched. But hey, I have always maintained the fact that Ghanaians were scammed by the NDC on their way to power. A government that promises one job, 3 shift, 3 people is sacking legally employed individuals left, right, center with gross impunity. The NDC main campaign promise was just a slogan to them. Until now, they haven't been able to give us a clear definition for the 24-hour economy. To some extent, the people were prevented from explaining what the 24-hour economy is. You remember those Chata and Wache definitions? KMJ, currently, the security services, transport services, airport services, healthcare facilities like hospitals and CHIPS compounds are already operating 24-hour economy. How much was used to make some of these institutions operate 24 hours? All right, that's... let me go to this one over here. And it says that I'm not surprised by Jantuah's comments. Now that he's a board member, it's unlikely he will criticize this government. Looks like it's benefiting handsomely. Broke man or no bill. He's a board member of what?
Maybe my uncle is here. He would tell us.
GMPC.
So now you have an opportunity to change things.
No, I'll change things.
So now you are part of the government.
No, it's not part of government.
Oh, you are?
Listen, I've been put there to do a job.
And it's not for a government.
Wait. Let me explain. I've been put there to do a job. I'm in the energy sector. I've been in the energy sector for long.
Yeah.
The little I have seen when we went there, there's a lot of work to be done.
Wow.
To turn GMPC around.
So now you're a board member.
Wait. It's not a question.
But you didn't tell us.
Wait, it's not. It's everywhere in the papers.
No,
it's everywhere in the papers. I said it's on Facebook. People have been.
Only this man
Listen,
who did
wait. A lot of people have.
Oh no, we didn't know about
have made. You don't. The social media. You're not the social media. A lot of people have made comments like this. A lot of people have insulted me. A lot of people have praised me. A lot of people have congratulated me. But it is work that needs to be done.
Okay. So can you give us a promise that by the time you end your office, if you are not able to bring any changes, you will have to resign?
Yes, why not?
You're going to promise us?
Yes, but I'm determined. I'm determined. Listen, I can be determined,
yes.
But I don't want the situation.
So now you are part of the
system. Wait. I've always been part of the system.
No.
I've always been part of the system.
No. If you are a board member
Wait. I'm on the Petroleum Hub representing AGI.
Yes, AGI is different.
I'm on nuclear representing AGI. I'm not part of the system.
No, AGI is different.
Am I not part of the system?
Maybe he's looking at it in the capacity as a board member.
AGI is a different thing. Now you are directly involved in government.
It's not the first time I've been a board member on these things, even in your government.
Even
on your government. Yes. I was on the PPA, GANEPS committee. Come on.
As a board member?
Go and ask. I was part and parcel. Wait, I was part and parcel of the team that brought GANEPS into being.
Oh, we are talking about board membership.
But it's board. PPA is the board. PPA is the board.
Yeah.
It was not on PPA.
I said it's part of the committee.
No, you are
of the
part of
PPA board.
No, it's a different
Wait, it's not a different thing.
No, it is.
It's not a different thing. Wait. Wait. If a committee is set up by a board, what is it?
You are not part of the board.
Wait.
You could have just
wait.
I said. You could have just been called in to bring some expertise on board.
No, I didn't. I wasn't brought in to bring some expertise to the board. I was brought in to make sure that GANEPS works by the board.
Okay.
My sponsor. Wait. It doesn't matter. Isn't it the work?
We're talking about. No,
isn't it the work?
No,
isn't it the work?
My uncle. We are talking about board membership.
Isn't it the work?
You have
the
fact that
so your expertise.
The fact that you sit there. Wait. I don't work. I don't work for them. I don't work for them. But if I don't come, Sheila will call me. Mr. Jantuah, why? What does that mean? What does that mean? It means you are part.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, KMJ. Nobody. No, my honorable. Good morning, KMJ. Nobody is against it for our economy, but unfortunately, the very people who are championing it don't seem to even understand what they are talking about. It started with the explaining yesterday. They have demonstrated that indeed they don't even believe in the policy. A policy which, according to Mr. Gusitano, require $4 billion to implement it. Government who is championing the policy is starting with a seed money of $300 million. Clearly, this will not see the day of light. 24-hour operation is demand-based drive. The fanfare launching is becoming too many. Nice sneakers, KMJ. Oh, my sneakers is by Twist Collections. They provided the sneakers. How do you sneeze the sneakers from where I'm sitting, by the way? Okay.
Which one are you wearing? The one like mine.
There's a navy one that I'm wearing.
The one you gave me, Charlie.
You know what I mean?
So you are not giving people stuff.
No, it's a personal relationship. It's a personal relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a personal relationship.
Honorable, I only need
I said, why?
Honorable,
You could be closer to him.
Honorable, I only need your size. Don't worry. Good morning, KJ. In fact,
he has a sneakers factory, so he can
Twist Collections. So, in fact, I always got annoyed with you people when you introduce Kwame Jantuah as senior CPP member. What kind of... No, I'm not going to read that.
Read it. It doesn't matter.
No, I'm not going to read that.
What haven't I taken?
Let's show some respect on this show, please. I won't take that, no. Good morning, KMJ. These people, NPP, can't see anything to do or do anything positive, and all they know is to create, loot, and share. You can't account for the past 8 years stewardship, and you are here criticizing who? Do you even have the locus? There's no harm in trying, so please kindly allow Mahama to. Honorable, please, we aren't yet healed from the wounds you and your NPP inflicted on us, so stop disturbing our ears. My regards to Honorable Edda Magbana and Mr. Wisdom Siali. All right. Let me go to Gasti. Gasti says that KMJ, somebody in the NDC communication team will be jailed on the explanation of the 24-hour economy. I tell you, the NDC themselves are not comfortable when their communicators begin to explain it. The so-called experts even make it funniest when they try to explain because of hypocrisy. Is Mr. Jantuah there to teach people how to talk? The defensive tactics are too much. All right, let me go to this one. I'm not surprised by... Okay, I think I've read that already. Let me move to the next one. Good morning. I'm Isaac from Nkwanta Oti region. I can see the MP face is judging him already. Okay. Kisime says that, thank you, President John Mahama, for your bold initiative to implement a 24-hour economy. Your vision for a thriving economy that works around the clock is truly inspiring. I believe this policy will boost productivity, create jobs, and improve the livelihoods of many. Haruna Idris's endorsement speaks to the seriousness of this proposal. I'm excited to see this policy come to life and contribute to Ghana's economic growth. Let's work together to make this vision a reality. Regards to Honorable Bright Asamoah Befo, MP for BBNE Anshaso. Okay, I'll back to that, right? KMJ, good morning. 24-hour economic policy is a good initiative, but do we as a country have the capacity to operate it? Let's not sink huge sums of money into it and later cry foul. The whole airport is a caution to us. Rashid, West sent in that now. With 24-hour economy, the government they can't take this thing for granted. And that's my opinion because of what it means to them as a party. And so I am thinking that they even put a national, like the lawyer Jantuah said, a national view to it, the development plan of something, so that we all can follow it. Greetings, KMJ, please. Is it true that the government spent 500 billion Ghana cedis on just ended national prayer program for just one day? If it's true, have we not been told that the country has no money, so they are prudently managing the economy? Because of that, our National Independence Day celebrations was celebrated anyhow since independence. Look at how they launched the 24-hour economy. It's like cutting a sword for road construction. NDC and John Mahama. So this was the conversation we had this morning. I had with my other colleagues this morning on the show. In terms of how much was spent on that. If you go I was there yesterday, and I understand where he's coming from, where it was done, how small it was, and how the intel I got was that the amount of money that was going to be used for the entire project was almost $500,000. And the president said, no, he's not going to agree for that money to be used. And so they had to do with the foyer of the conference center instead of the main auditorium. And I'm just saying it in response to, the person is talking about the amount of money spent on Independence Day. And how this was done. He means that we could have done it better. The launch yesterday could have been better than what we saw. In fact, when you get in there, it was very simple. And if you were sitting somewhere and you're thinking about a government that is putting a policy like that out there, it could have been very grand. But this one was very, very simple.
What did Magufuli
do? I asked him.
What did Magufuli do? The president for Zambia cancelled Independence Day. Went out there, worked. And we have to be bold in some of these things.
Yeah. I was excited to hear what that person was telling me, because it could have been, a lot of money spent on this, like we've seen. But he says that no, the president said he didn't want any of that to happen. So they had to cut it the way they did. So if anybody saw it the way it was done, very small and simple, that's the reason. I'm sure Nabo is excited about that as well.
Which one?
How the event was done yesterday.
I've not even heard about it.
Oh, you've not heard about the launch yesterday? You see how KJ is just looking at
the launch of the 24-hour economy.
Oh, are you scared? Oh, are you serious?
I wasn't there. I didn't even watch it.
Okay, this one says that, good morning, KFG. The best presidential candidate for NPP is Adai Nimo. I listened to him on Joy News, very patriotic, like my uncle Jantuah, wishing Ghana to succeed always. As for Martin and his colleagues, they are all praying for Ghana to fail. Political spider in Kintampo says so. Okay, you meant Honorable Matthew. Okay. Let me read this one. It says, good morning, KMJ and Honorable MP. This is Abdul Ganiu Mankirigu from Savannah region. 24-hour economy is a scam. As at now, they are still explaining 24-hour economy. The three-shift system, no atonsium. How can a policy which is assumed to be creating jobs for the youth requires $4 billion to operate? President Mahama and the NDC people were telling Ghanaians NPP are thieves, but super thieves in Ghana are now in government. Okay. Let me go this one. KMG, yesterday I asked the NPP man on the show should tell us exactly what they used all the huge money they had, including the loans Ken borrowed for. Any meaningful and strategic investment that is paying back the loans should be made known to us, because we just don't borrow for borrowing's sake. And that is all. Please don't let this NPP man also run away with it. And also the NPP know that their party has collapsed, and so doing all possible means for it to, they're doing every possible means for it to be recognized as an existing party by lowering their voices on everything and giving quick judgment as they're telling President Mahama to fulfill the promises on 24-hour economy. So as I want them to encourage him to on the oral and not defending those who have looted the country when they are dragged to the court. Ghanaians will never make a mistake by bringing such group of people to government again. And that's Jake in Sawim. Jake, every question you ask over here, the people seated over here get to hear them and they answer them. The MPP man didn't answer the question because he didn't want to answer. I couldn't have forced it from his mouth because I really don't know what he's going to say for me to say it for him. So when they have the opportunity to answer their questions, please just listen to the answers they give to you, all right? We can only probe and ask the questions, but I can't force them to.
Are we all not Ghanaians?
We are.
So why would our viewers decide to call somebody the MPP man? He has a name.
And I keep correcting them. Even yesterday, I did correct them.
We are not quarreling.
And we mentioned everybody's name here on the show.
We are not quarreling. We are not quarreling. Exchange of what? Exchange of ideas. They believe in a certain thing. They believe in a certain thing. Others believe in a certain thing. Let's try as much as, because when you're reading, you mention the person's name, don't you? You don't say that, and this person...
This person says...
So I would appeal, please, when you come and you're commenting, the person has a name. Mention the person's name. I think it's respectful enough to do that.
Great. Honorable, there's one other aspect of it that it says that there is Aspire 24, which is building the skills of our people, our value, our ethics, and digital capacity for competitiveness. I don't know. This is not, could this also be funding related? Are we able to aspire as a people?
We have always been aspiring. But let me differ from when he said that we don't have a vision. We do.
As a nation?
Yes, we do. Why don't we? People are quick to compare Ghana to certain countries. But we forget about how our system is and how their system is. How does China elect their leaders? How do they elect leadership?
He's there.
So you have a system that is permanent.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just there.
The system is there. And it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going almost the same direction. So the person plans towards that. You don't go to China and every 4 years, a party brings a manifesto and have to be voted on that manifesto. Is that what is done?
No.
No. All the countries he has cited, most of them, Singapore, their system is different from our system. We have adopted a system and we must be prepared for that system.
So that system is not working for us.
India.
Yeah.
India. India, don't they have a system like ours?
They do.
Have they not,
Prime Minister is even...
Do they not have a plan?
You see, that's why I'm saying that I differ from you when you say we don't have a plan.
I don't see
if you go to NDPC, it's a whole institution on its own. Don't they have plan? Don't we have a national plan? We do.
Where is it?
It's we as a people.
How many Ghanaians know what that plan is?
It's not having a different from not knowing. Are you getting me? Sometimes we try to rubbish.
Honorable, I've been a commissioner on NDPC, and I know what I'm talking about.
Yes. You see,
I know what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm
I was part of the plan that brought in the 40 national development. I know what I'm talking about.
Why are we not sticking? Why are we not sticking to it?
Because they don't stick to it.
It is not easy. But when you look at even the plans of the NDPC and the principle, the state, the constitution, the direct principles of state policies, they are intermarried. And if you take every party's manifesto, go and look at the policies we expound in those manifestos. They're almost the same thing. It's about the economy, it is about social, it is about infrastructure, it's about industrialization. So if we say we don't have a policy or a vision, I beg to differ. This 24-hour economy thing we are talking about, like I said, if we stimulate our economic well, if we try to put our structures in place, nobody will even be talking about 24-hour economy. It will trigger on its own. If the industries are doing well, there's a serious industrialization, and the industries are doing well, and there's market, production is ongoing, there is demand and supply, the market detects. Are you telling me that the man producing, if there's a market, he won't produce 24 hours? Are you the one to tell him to produce 24 hours?
Is that what the president intends to do? He says that he wants to make sure that the government who even take over after him will be able to still stick to this and make it happen.
He cannot say whoever is going to take over. I am saying that let's do the proper thing as a nation. If you get opportunity as a government, try as much as possible to stick to your social contracts. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I still think that the way we are talking 24-hour economy, 24-hour, it's not something new. If we get the fundamentals right, if we do proper investment at various sectors, the 24-hour economy itself will trigger. It's not somebody who will come and say, I'm launching 24-hour economy. It's not somebody who will come and say, I'm launching this, I'm launching this. We've talked about the North, the lands in the North, where my uncle, I am from the North, a very proud Northerner. I've lived almost all my life in the Northern region. The lands are there, okay? But it is an agricultural sector where you are fed by the rain. So if the rain, when the farmer is prepared and the rain is not prepared, you are there.
Yeah.
And when the rain is prepared and you, the farmer, you are not prepared, you are dead. How do you stimulate growth in this area? There must be a deliberate policy that, look, we're going to make sure that this acres of land, we're going to plow it, we're going to put irrigation, we're going to grow this, then the farmer is ready to produce. But if we are not doing this,
how would that cost?
Sorry?
How much would that cost?
I don't know. I don't know. It's obviously going to cost. It's not going to be cheap like that. It's going to cost. Half of cost.
We go to the north. We say the whole of this place, we're farming. All the people in the north.
Yes, this is what we want.
The land is there.
Yes.
We are farming. Just get your daily whatever stipend that you were supposed to get just to come and make sure that all we want you to do is just produce for the entire nation. How much would that cost?
How much will it cost? Look, when...
I don't understand.
Have you finished?
You have given the opportunity.
When we discovered oil and we realized that we didn't have the laws in place, and we quickly did the Petroleum Revenue Management Act. And we divided the Petroleum Management Act in terms of how we spend the revenue. That Petroleum Revenue Management Act, it had to be in place to be able to direct how you spend the revenue. Some of us told President, let's use the oil revenue for specific projects. Specific projects because of the way oil money comes in. Did we do it? No. What did we do? We said the finance minister, can choose 4 priority areas out of a 13 list in the law. And then what happened? We did not stick to the 4 priority areas that was chosen. We invested in all those 13 areas and just thinned the money. And some of the projects we couldn't even finish.
Look at that.
Did it help us? It didn't. We need to be specific. And I would like a situation where President Mahama would put his hands on his head and put his foot down and say, oil revenue is going to go into this, it's going to go into that, it's going to go into Botswana. Their diamond revenue, do you know what they use it for? Only education, nothing else. Go and see what is done to them. But let me ask the question. Honorable says we have a plan. We are how many years old? Ghana? 68.
60.
Out of the 68 years, who would you claim as the best president? All of them, including military. Who would you claim as the best president?
Nkrumah is always mentioned.
Okay. How did he do it? Did he not do the development plan?
Yeah.
The 5-year national development plan. What did it give us? It gave us Akosombo. It gave us all the things we needed.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me that it doesn't work? He had a 5-year, he had a 7-year, he had a 10-year. The 7-year was supposed to start in 1972 and move forward. We've done it before. When I was growing up, Akasanuma radio, air condition, fridge, all these things were manufactured in. We even started manufacturing a car.
And all those companies.
Are you trying to say that if we had followed it, we won't be way up there? Before China, once upon a time, we were ahead of China, we were ahead of Korea, we were ahead of all those countries. What went wrong? Have we been able to identify what went wrong? Those other countries, did they not come here to get information and get to make their countries better? When the motorway was done, the motorway was done before the M25 in the UK.
Can you imagine?
The M25 that surrounds the whole of London. It was done before it. They tried to tell me that we couldn't do it. And when you look at even Tema, how Tema was structured, it was an industrial hub. Was it not a national development plan that did that? The motorway was supposed to have started from Tema right up to Elibu. All those years back, have we been able to do it? 1965, when did it come into being? If it wasn't President Kufuor, would we have had Bui? Come on. National development plans work. The challenge we have is the fact that we stick to manifestos, and manifestos haven't worked for us. We need to sit down and call a spade a spade.
Exactly. So
we need
just
to
come back to the
I'm
talking about.
you see what happens? Yeah. What happens is the personal interest that comes into our politics. Because people are much more.
It's never going to stop.
That people are much more interested in that personal interest in the country. But it's up to the people to change it. And it's up to presidents who come in to make sure that any minister, anybody who brings their personal interest, you are out. Have you been able to do it? No.
Honorable. Man,
my uncle is back to the same point I was making. Like I said, we are quick to talk about certain countries. Okay. Today, His Excellency...
Maybe because we believe we deserve better than them, based on what we have.
Well, you see, His Excellency John Mahama has 4 years mandate.
Yeah.
Okay. His son is social contracts with the people.
Yeah.
And that's what he's sticking to. Whether good or bad. That's what he's sticking to. Because that's what the people voted for.
Yeah.
Do you encourage him to deviate from that?
No.
You don't. And I don't think that some of the things that they advocated and people bought into and voted for, they are bad ideas.
Okay.
I don't believe in that. It is about implementation. Okay? And I also disagree with him again that we don't have a plan. We do. Maybe we've not been able to shepherd and make sure that government upon government followed
those plans.
Was one district, one factory in a plan?
We talk about
Was it
industrialization.
not a manifesto? Was it not a manifesto?
Are you telling me industrialization
Was it leaked into a development plan?
Are you telling me that
plan
there's no industrialization in our state policies?
Honorable. When in
today you've taken almost all the time.
Listen. When Nkrumah looked at national development, he looked at the whole country and saw those areas where certain factories can be put and place them. Yes. One example, corn beef. He saw that the Burkinas and Malians were bringing their cows into Ghana to graze. Yes. When he came in, he bought 95% of the cows and sited the corn beef factory in the north. Yes. And the hides, he took the hides to Kumasi, took the horns of the cows to Kumasi to do what? Achimota sandals, where all of us were to go to school. It was on the plan. If you say we have a national development plan, is that how we are doing it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That the implementation, you may question it the way you
but we don't need to question it.
It is there. Look, like you rightly said.
So why aren't we doing it?
We are looking about the 1992 Constitution. In Nkrumah's time, I weren't there. He did things on his own.
You weren't there?
No, I weren't there. That's why you are getting to 80.
The 80 doesn't want to hear.
That's what we hear. Are you getting me? It is up to us teasing those relevant areas out and be committed to it. This 24-hour economy we are discussing this one, talking. It's about industrialization. That is all about it. That's the major area. Yeah. And making sure that at the end of the day, we are able to produce continuously and limit the importations that we do in this country. That's all about it.
Yeah.
Go and take the NDPC sector and look at their document. It is codified in it. But the system we are running is different from some of these countries that you people are mentioning. People will talk today, look, people are talking about, let's talk about Rwanda. Look at what Rwanda is doing. Who is the opposition leader in Rwanda? Do you know opposition leader in Rwanda? You don't know.
Yeah, it's the one who seems to be doing all the...
Yes, he's the one who is...
always made,
But this country, you won't get it that way.
Yeah.
Because people are there to contribute. People are there to talk. Yes, I agree. There are maybe lapses in our system. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
But all hope is not lost. All hope is not lost. I believe that all the fine gentlemen and ideas that we have in this country is about commitment and patriotism. That is all about it. Okay? But you cannot run away from your social contracts that you have signed with the people. Like the 24 hours. He's talked about it, he's been voted for. We expect him to deliver. That's all about it. But when he is leaving, there is something I am worried about. And I think that as a nation, we should all look at that issue, where some policies and programs and projects that previous government has started, brilliant ones, we come and because of politics, we just throw them away. We don't care about it. We just abandon it. Go and start our own projects. In the next 4 years or 8 years, you are also out. Those projects are also left. These are things that I think that as a nation, we've not been doing well. We've not been doing well because there are very laudable projects. By the end of the NDC government, there will be some projects, there will be some programs that are brilliant. We shouldn't throw them away. If we get opportunity, let's see how we can build them. The same way today, I'm speaking that, look, MPP has left government. There are very good projects. There are very laudable ideas. Certain things are in place. Let's see how we can shepherd them and grow them. Because at the end of the day, it's the people. This Agenda 1111 thing we are talking about, they're all hospitals. They're all hospitals. So if you want to build a hospital and you complete that hospital, it still serves the same purpose.
Yeah.
If you come and you decide that, look, this government have started this, if I complete it, that government is going to take credit, you go and start your own. Who knows? The next 4 years, you are out. That project also gets hanging. I think this is where we have not done well as a nation.
President Kufuor still has hospitals in the bush.
That's what I think, that as a nation we have a problem. That's where I see that we have a serious problem.
The problem is personal interest.
Well,
that's where the problem is.
Well, let's deal with
where the problem is.
As for personal problem, I cannot say yes or no. But I'm just telling you that these are things that as a nation we've not been able to do well. Because if you go to bush and you see abandoned projects, my God. Look,
let me give you an example. The speaker says they know the people in parliament doing galamsey. Have you been able to expose them?
No.
Have you been able to expose them?
Exposed.
Who are they? Give us the names. Give us the names. Give us the names.
That this
galamsey. Have we been able to catch a financier of galamsey?
No.
Do we not know them?
It's just the ordinary people.
But you know
personal
them.
interest.
Do you know them?
Personal interest.
Apart from Wuntumi, do you know somebody?
So Wuntumi is part of it.
Is out there, so now everybody
So, but the government knows them. Somebody is financing galamsey. You know them.
Apart from Wuntumi,
we have security agencies in this country who know them. Because they are paying the money, they are quiet.
So it's about personal interest.
Of course.
I don't disagree.
About personal interest.
But what I'm telling you is that my headache is what I have stated. If we get those things right, I'm telling you as a nation, we'll go very far.
All right, let me engage our viewers a bit on Facebook. And Kasima Abu Sadiq says that, and he's actually sending this from Pandai, your constituencies here. It says, good morning to the host and panelists. It must be stated without any equivocation that the NDC has no direction when it comes to the 24-hour economy. Whatever that the president said was a PR and nothing else. There are public and private sectors that are running 24 hours economy. The ECG now runs 24 hours. You can buy your prepaid, apply for meters and others at any given time. The transport system in Pandai runs 24 hours. Cars move from Pandai at dawn and gets to Accra around 3. And there are others that move from Pandai at 3 and gets to Accra the following morning and vice versa. Just like Honorable Matthew stated, you want to buy a car from a company on credit and your initial payment is less than 7%. Do you think the company would take you serious and even give you the car? That's a legitimate question over there. Now, the good morning, and that's Abdul Ganiu Mankarigu. It says, good morning, KMJ and Honorable MP. This is Abdul, and it says 24-hour economy is a scam as of now. They are still explaining 24-hour economy. The free shift system, no to assume. How can a policy in which is assumed to be creating job for the youth requires 4 billion to operate? President Mahama and NEC, people were telling Ghanaians the NPP are thieves, but they are the super thieves in Ghana now. Mo Kojo Obrempong says, good morning, KMJ and your noble panel. The NPP has no iota of credibility left in them to be at the table to wax lyrically on good governance. Tell my uncle, Honorable Ayindam, that it pains me to the bone marrow that a great politician of his caliber is part of the elephant fraternity. I know very soon my uncle will see the light and ditch the NPP for the NDC. Extend my greetings to him, Kwame Jantuah, and my MP, Honorable Emmanuel Kojo Ejokum. All right, so you think that he would leave NPP for the NDC? You think so? Nawumba Matthew says that this is a winning. Matthew from Upper East. Garo, 24 hours plus is here to stay. It's a future-driven policy that helps to make Ghana, produce Ghana, and consume Ghana. The youth of Ghana would soon have appetite for a great investment upon their certificates at universities. We thank God 24 hours is driving us towards the future. It's far better than the Anum who made us to pay 50,000 Ghana cedis for jobs at public sector. I'm a supply chain and logistics management graduate, and I'm sure along the line it would employ me. Congratulations to Jantuah for his appointment at the GNPC. Louisa Siedu says that, good morning, KMJ. The launch of this 24-hour economy policy is just a hasty desperation to behave. They are committed to fulfill their promise, but the fact is they are not ready to implement it to yield results. You have abandoned 1D, 1F, and you think you will succeed. And there's taxes all over the country, electricity tariffs going up every day. Unstable electricity, low demand in export. Actually, NDC is falling early in this rule. Mr. Lawyer Jantuah is waiting to when to criticize the NDC. Sometimes these neutral people behave some way. Ghanaians and hypocrisy. Nyanko Brownie says that we the youth
I'm not a hypocrite.
Don't mind them. We the youth in Ghana warmly commend the visionary leadership and bold initiative in launching the 24-hour economy policy. This transformative policy marks a significant step toward boosting economic growth, creating sustainable jobs, and increasing productivity across various sectors of our nation. This initiative will not only improve access to essential services, but also attract investment power, empower businesses, and uplift the lives of countless citizens, especially the youth. May this bold step serve as a lasting legacy for his commitment to inclusive development and economic transformation. Congratulations to Honorable Issa Yusuf, popularly known as Kowa, for his appointment as Tano South Municipal Deputy National Director. And Samibu Ache in Asamankesi says, I'm skeptical about the current government commitment to addressing Ghana's unemployment issue. What is the actual situation behind the touted 24-hour economy? Is there a concrete plan for policy implementation? Why are appointments being terminated? Are they inadvertently creating unemployment associations instead of initiating a 24-hour economy? Why is the necessary infrastructure to support this initiative? Ghanaians are discerning, and this attitude of intimidating the previous government must seize power extempore, as observed in the cases regards to Thomas Oyeneba Wache. Okay. There's more of your messages today. I'm trying as much as possible to do many of them. What is all this noise about 24-hour economy? Production is determined by the demand and supply. Infrastructure to support the 24-hour economy is not there. Road networks are extremely poor. The electricity supply is erratic. Work ethic is nothing to write home about, and excessive noise can make it difficult for people to have a comfortable sleep after a night shift. A 24-hour economy cannot be a political decision. Rather, it is a decision determined by market forces based on demand and supply. Greetings to Chairman Odena Nkwaku up here. DC Note 1 says, so you people think this 24-hour economy will surely work in this country called Ghana? I really wonder how they are going to plan it and work it out. Beginning 24 hours economy project will not help us. Let us to be sincere to each other. We are watching. Okay, all right. Maybe because of time, let me just end the messages over here. But I'm grateful to all of you who sent in your messages, and we have to go. But let me say good morning, a very special good morning to Mr. Techi. Mr. Techi, and also going out to Mr. Yeboah, and going out to Mr. Chester as well. Miss Gloria, all right? So it's a special good morning to all of you, Mr. Techi, Mr. Yeboah, Mr. Chester, Miss Gloria. You're at the Development Planning Officers at Brekum East Municipal Assembly. You are the Development Planning Officers at Brekum East Municipal Assembly. So that's where you are, Brekum East Municipal Assembly. Mr. Techi, Mr. Yeboah, Mr. Chester, Ms. Gloria, you're all doing the watching this morning. A very good morning to all of you. And it's going out to my brother as well, my senior brother as well, Mr. Douglas Dekpo. That's where he also works, and they're always watching us. Yesterday, they didn't believe that my senior brother is my senior brother, so they had to force him to actually make a phone call, video phone call, to prove that indeed that's my senior brother. Because they watch me and he keeps telling them that's my brother, and they said, no, we don't believe it. So they had to do a video call yesterday. They don't believe that he's my senior brother.
Your blood brother?
Yep, that's the one I come directly after.
How many in your family?
We're 5.
How many boys?
3 boys, 2 girls.
And who is the mischievous one amongst you?
Can they put the cameras off? But I'm grateful. But I see, I think that we should do something about a toll road. I don't know whether you've used that road. It's the most terrible road. And looking at toll. And that road that leads to toll.
Please, I beg you. I'm not part of toll. I'm not part of toll.
Oil is oil.
My duty is GMP.
Oil is oil.
My duty is GMP.
If you don't develop this,
my duty isn't even downstream. My duty is upstream. How we produce oil. That's my duty.
But I mean, it's something that they have to take a look at. The road, to toll and look.
Is it only that road?
But you know what told us for us as a country, and so I'm very particular about that. I think that we should do something about it.
It's
that
terrible.
Road is not good at all. If you have a saloon car or what,
especially when you look at the traffic on that road,
it's bad. It's bad, and we have to do something.
Driving on it at night.
No,
It's
you can't.
something
No,
else.
no, you can't. It's not a good thing.